Before we get into the original stuff, walk us through your past 2 weeks schedule. Why are you traveling so much?
In the last 2 weeks, I've been in India, Singapore, the Philippines, Dubai, Qatar, Pakistan.
How are you pulling this off? Like, where do you get the demand from?
See, that's the key. We have tens of thousands of local service businesses that are ready to hire people. Who else have you seen out there?
Nah, they like it, they build the trust, but they don't want to do it. What keeps you excited about all this travel? Why are you so passionate about it?
I love my friends. I love to see them win.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody who's actually listening to this podcast right now? First of all, guys, welcome back to the Nikhil Sai Show, which is hosted by me, the Nikhil Sai. And guess what's going on today? I'm back with another amazing guest. The best part is this guest has been on our show and he's coming back to share amazing gems for you. So if you're trying to attract more clients consistently, and if you want to market yourself ethically and be profitable while doing it and deliver consistent results, and if you want to learn the behind the scenes secrets on how you could speak on stage, seen as authority, and let the clients come towards you instead of you running after them, this podcast will be a game changer. The guy who's actually jumping on, he's been on our podcast already. He spent over $1 billion in ads combining, and he's a SEO visionary. His vision is very interesting. He wants to help millions of people to get employment, and he's doing it through his education in all shapes and forms. And I'm very passionate. While I look at his story and his journey, I get excited. So let's not waste any time, and actually let's welcome the CEO of BlitzMetrics. Hey, Dennis.
What's up, Nick? Good to see you again.
Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you making time for our podcast episode number 2 with you. This is so exciting. So before we get into the original stuff, walk us through your past 2 weeks schedule. Why are you traveling so much? Why are you in 6 different countries in the last 2 weeks again?
In the last 2 weeks, I've been in India, Singapore, the Philippines, Dubai, Qatar, Pakistan, and some other places. And I'm back in the United States today. And it's not because I want to travel and get as many miles as possible. I'm already at 6.5 million miles. I don't want to travel unless I have to because it's very tiring. My body doesn't even know what time it is. But we inked a deal with the Indian government where they're using our digital marketing training for certification, where people that go through it, they're getting real course credit and it's part of a requirement. And they also can use it towards a job. And what's unique about this is because they really want to do skills-based training, not just like get a degree. You get a degree, what does that mean? Piece of paper. But if you actually learn the individual skills, that is directly transferable to a real job that you can use. And we're guaranteeing jobs for people who actually are able to get the certification. And that's what the Indian government is very, very excited about. And we actually got the same thing in Pakistan as well, because we've got connections in there, which I know is like there's an India-Pakistan political thing. But when it comes to the actual people themselves, there's no problem, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's inspiring, and actually it's exciting to know that you're trying to help so many unemployed people upskill themselves and get jobs. So how are you pulling this off? Like, I understand the skill part. It's easy to train these people, and I'm sure a lot of Indians and Pakistanis are hungry to learn. But where do you get the demand from? Like, who are employing these people? Do you have businesses who are hiring, or how does that work?
See, that's the key. Because if you want to learn how to do SEO or Facebook ads or build websites or edit videos, it's not like we're the only people in the world that know how to do this. Or there's tons of trainings, right, on how to do anything you want. Just go to YouTube, right? But the difference is that we have tens of thousands of local service businesses that are ready to hire people who have this certification. Plumbers, landscapers, electricians, real estate agents, pest control companies, locksmiths, whatever. Like, we have all these local service businesses. These are people that repair air conditioners or chiropractors, take care of your pet, all of these services. I have relationships with the number one in each of those categories. So in a couple of days, I'm going to Dallas to see Roger Wakefield. And Roger Wakefield is a master plumber, and he has, I don't know how many plumbers there are in the United States, but he has 1 million subscribers across YouTube and a couple of these other places. So you ask any plumber, who's the most famous plumber, and they'll tell you it's Roger Wakefield. They know who Roger Wakefield is. So that because we've demonstrated how to do websites, SEO, driving rankings, all of these digital marketing things with Roger Wakefield, all the other plumbers follow him. And so that's what we call a Lighthouse Model. And we've done the Lighthouse Model with all these other leaders so that if you are a real estate agent, then you're going to trust what Tom Ferry has to say. And all you have to do is Google Tom Ferry, Dennis Yu, and you'll see the masterclass we have in digital marketing. And look at the feedback. Look at the comments, hundreds of comments. People say, this is the best training I've ever seen. I've watched it 3 times. It's so good. And you'll see it over and over again. Just Google me and you'll see that that's the case. So what we've done is we've created this training with the most respected person in each of these industries. So the people that follow those people will naturally say, I trust this guy because this is the one who is doing the best in our industry. And it's not just that we've created training with these other people. We've said by publishing our training, here it is step by step on how to do, how to build location service pages and get them to rank. How do you implement Google schema properly so that your name ranks when people search on your name? How to trigger a knowledge panel. How to use Rank Math and Descript and Link Whisper and all these other tools. How to do each of these things. It's a real step-to-step checklist. And therefore everyone sees like, how many, plumbing HVAC companies, Nick, do you think actually want to sit down and go through this checklist?
Nah.
Right?
They like it, they build the trust, but they don't want to do it.
When you see this and you see exactly how we do everything step by step, you're not going to want to do it, But let me ask you, Nick, who else have you seen out there that is publishing this level of detail? I'm not claiming it's a secret. We're not trying to sell. We're not trying to market. We're just, here it is. This is exactly how to do it. You can do it yourself. This is how we do it. This is how we hire VAs. This is exactly the quizzes that we use. This is the training that we go through. This is how we organize Basecamp to assign tasks. This is how we have hiring managers and as they ascend through the different levels. This is how we have our 9-level system. And this is how much we pay. And everything. We put it all out there. Who else do you know has done that?
No, nobody actually. This is quite inspiring actually. And so this way you're actually able to do it. Mm-hmm.
So in the plumbing HVAC company, they say, damn, this is the way to do it, right? We give them exactly how to do it. And we have a report called Are You Googleable? And you can go to areyougooglable, and we will scan you. Just like you go to the hospital, you're sick, the emergency room, you get in an accident, and then we have to scan you to see where's the broken bones. We look at your blood, we look at all the vitals to figure out what's wrong, right? So think of it as like a marketing doctor. We figure out exactly what's wrong. And because of that, we can diagnose and provide an exact treatment plan for you on what you need. Who else is doing that, right?
Yeah, no one.
But then if you know, this is exactly, here's all my statistics. Here's my blood pressure. I'm low on iron. I have a broken bone, all these different things, right? Because we do the scan. You can't argue with any of it because here it is. Here's the data, right? Here's the keywords that you rank on. Here's your website loads too slow according to Google's page speed insights. And this is how it's hurting you. This is where your competitors are ranking. This is how your GMB is doing. Here's all the data. You cannot argue any of this data. I don't care what kind of guru. But you see, agencies want to argue this. They can't argue it. It's factual. It's true, right?
They lose it.
And we show exactly how to fix it. And they say, okay, yeah, I want it fixed. And we say, okay, then here are people that are certified in each of those different areas. So let's say there's 5 or 6 things you need. Here's 2 or 3 people that can do those 5 or 6 things to set up your local citations, to make sure you're showing up properly in the map grid results. Right? Here are people that fix those particular things. No one person has all the skills necessary. Just like in a hospital, there's never one doctor, right? When you go to a hospital, how many doctors do you need? Someone could have cancer, or they have a broken bone, or they could have psoriasis. You need many different doctors. No one doctor can fix everything, right? But how many times do you see these digital marketers, they think they can do everything? No doctor can do everything. Any marketer that claims they can do everything, I'm suspicious. So we say, look, we can get it done for you, because they say, fix it for me. Like, okay, we can fix it. Here are the people that are going to go ahead and fix it. And this is how much it's going to cost. It costs $200 to get your local SEO citations going properly. It's going to cost $200 for us to tune your local service ads. It's going to cost $200 to set up your location service pages in the right way and use ChatGPT. And so here's the different things that we need. And so your total bill, Nick, is going to be $800. Go ahead and you can click on the button. And then when you pay, it will then, the people in our network will come in and they will do their thing that they're certified to do. And they're not there to consult. They're not there to get on Zoom. They're not there to talk about new ideas. When you go to the doctor and you're very ill, you're not there to talk about new things. You just want it fixed. You want your car fixed. You don't want to sit down and talk to the mechanic every week. You want your car fixed, right? So that's what we do. And because we scan it and we have the Are You Googleable report, Are You Googleable? And we have the training to show how to fix those particular items. We automatically assign somebody to do the work. You, Nick, you don't ever have to say, okay, I have a heart problem. Here's 5 heart surgeons. Do you ever get to pick? If you go to the hospital and you're sick and you need the heart surgery, do you get to pick?
I don't trust myself.
Do you get to interview 5 heart doctors and decide which one you want to do the surgery?
No.
No? Well, how come in digital marketing, all the patients here are trying to choose which doctor? Why?
And the doctor is selling that, hey, it's not just the heart. You have a liver issue. We got to replace your kidney.
That's right. Half off if you buy the kidney right now. But you have to buy the kidney transplant by Friday for half off. How likely is that
we have
doctor actually
one
competent?
spot left.
And then the doctor is going and knocking on every single door, DMing you, cold emails. Hey, heart's special. I can do the heart surgery cheaper. Do you trust that doctor?
Oh yeah, this
How
is
many
a
doors,
fruitful
Nick, do you think
conversation.
we're knocking on? How many cold emails do you think we sent?
I assume 0 because you
How
have
many sales
inbound
messages do you
inquiries.
think we're putting out there? Hey, come buy our heart surgery on sale today. Never.
None.
Every single client comes to us in pain. In the emergency room, people come because they're hurt, they're injured, they're in pain, they're dying. They come to us. We don't
is
go
exactly-
send salespeople out there. Nick, how many salespeople are in the emergency room? Don't you think if they had more salespeople in the emergency room, they'd make more money, right?
They'd
No.
kill more people for sure. I could say that.
So that's what's going on in the world of digital marketing because there's no standard, because it's driven by sales bros. Nothing wrong with being a sales bro, right? But you know what I'm talking about, the sales bro, right? There are no sales bros in our ecosystem. There's only people who are competent at implementing. They don't sell. They don't try to convince you of anything. And we only take action. We only will do our thing by doing the report, figuring out what's broken and then making the recommendation, which requires expertise. We only do that when they come to us. We don't go and knock on their door. That's the key difference. But we have the demand, to your original question, because we have the trust of these lighthouses. That's the difference.
Absolutely.
Some people say, how do you get the trust of the lighthouse? Do you pay them a commission? No, there's no commission. Is it because you're really good at selling? No. Is it because you speak on the stages and people think you're really impressive because you have 1 million social media followers? No, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's because you took pictures of you flying first class, drinking champagne. No, that's not it at all. If I saw my doctor flying first class, I'd say like, okay, I guess that's cool, but I'm not going to think he's better at doing my heart surgery just because I see him flying first class. No, I do it because I know he's good.
Fair enough. This is what I exactly want our audience to learn from you, kind of replicate in a mini manner in their own business so that they don't need to chase, they don't need to knock, because genuinely most marketers right now don't want to do it, but that's like the only way they are able to pay their bills.
Yeah,
and they're
they want to build
forced do that
funnels.
overall.
Is it because we're really good at building funnels? Do you know how many funnels I build, Nick? None. Is it because I have really good video editors and they do really good video editing? None. We had lawyers that signed up. There's this one girl, and what was her name? Kim, and she is a DUI lawyer in Kansas City, and she messaged me and she said, I saw that you were Jeff Hughes and you work with Jeff Hughes. Jeff Hughes is a well-known lawyer, right? Although other lawyers follow him. And I've been burned by the last 3 agencies, and really, I don't know what to do. I have a few lawyers in the firm. I'm trying to learn how to do the Google ads and the SEO, but I don't really know how to do this. Can you help me? So we hopped on the Zoom call and we looked at their statistics and we saw that she ranked on almost nothing. And we saw exactly what was broken. She didn't have location service pages, for example. Her website loaded too slow. All these things were broken, right? There are problems with her local service ads. And she, this is someone who comes to us and then we show them exactly what's wrong. There's no secret. And this is what happens. And the beauty, and any of you guys listening or watching, the beauty is we publish those audits. So we spent an hour with her, right? I never talked to her before. I don't know who she is. I never tried to sell her. But she said, what do I need to do? How much do I pay? How do we get going? And I said, well, first, let's figure out exactly what's broken, right? Let's run our audit, the Are You Googleable report, figure out what that is. And then at the end of the audit, I said, so we use this to train up lots of young adults. Actually, she called me when I was in Manila in the Philippines. And I had a bunch of my friends from the Philippines there because we were doing some training. And I said, can we publish this? And she said, of course. So if you look at my Facebook group, Digital Marketing with Dennis Yu, there's 42 people in there, just in that one for training. I have hundreds of these audits that are recorded that shows these people come into the emergency room. I'm not there to try to sell them. I'm there to diagnose using expertise to figure out what's broken and then be able to fix it and then assign it to someone to fix it. And you can see how I do this hundreds of times over and over and over. And in the beginning, you'll hear me ask, so how did you hear about us, or why are we here? Well, I was listening to your podcast with so-and-so, and I've been burned the last 3 times. I do a search on Roger Wakefield, Dennis Yu, and you'll see tons of videos and audits with Roger Wakefield and with all these other plumbers. And I don't see any other digital marketing agencies doing this, publishing their audits, publishing hundreds of Zoom calls. You see anyone doing it? Why not?
No, everything is confidential. Yeah, that's interesting.
Is it? But
the way you're
guess what happens when we publish hundreds of these audits and then publish the results? Brenda Farley, she's a power washing company in Columbus, Ohio. And we're fixing her site and we're teaching her what to do. And we're doing the thing that we do. And we have, for example, one of our guys, his name is Na Freelancer. And he's the one doing the local SEO things for the citations and location service pages and things like that, doing that for her. And we're actively publishing that. We're showing, here's the Zoom calls. Here's what we're doing. Here's what's working. We're publishing it. So there's no funnel that we're building. I know you're like the funneling media. There's no funnel that we're building. Let me ask you, Nick, what's more powerful? powerful. Us publishing what we're doing, literally just the raw Zoom calls, not edited, just publishing. Here's a Zoom call, publish it, put it on YouTube. There it is. Here's exactly what we're doing. No editing, no call to action, no video sales letter. We're just publishing hundreds and hundreds, thousands now, thousands of these audits and just little tidbits. What's more powerful, Nick? Just those raw audits or the most beautiful funnel built by whoever? And
So
my double
obviously, when
comma
it comes
club,
to
my Russell Brunson big poster. No, which one carries more power?
obviously authenticity is definitely going to be attractive, and for
Yeah.
instant trust is where the awards can come into play. But I think everything has its own pros and cons. Some people actually like the shiny success, the other people like the let me get my heart fixed kind of solution. So there's definitely different markets, and I would like to shift more attention of marketeers and agencies or coaches into the authenticity market so that they could actually be more
Yeah.
authentic or be themselves and still attract clients. So if somebody is watching this and they are questioning themselves, like, why am I door knocking so much? Why am I shouting loud? Why am I losing my voice in the
Yeah.
scream? How can they shift their marketing techniques? Few actionable things they could do right now to actually be more authentic, to actually be attracting the right clients would be a great question for you to answer.
Yeah, very easy. Instead of focusing on being a sales bro, focus on your client's success and elevate their success. Interview them on a podcast. Publish exactly how you do what you do. Like we work together with Josh Nelson. This is the thing for seven-figure agencies. There's a whole checklist on that. We show how we do ads. We publish a book, right? With me and Perry Marshall, we have a book. We publish. We share exactly what we do. We publish Zoom calls. We publish, webinars, and they're not to sell. We publish, the client calls and we go over the results and we're publishing what we do. So if you're an agency and you're struggling with trying to get more leads and you want to use AI tools for now, mass cold emails, automate, okay, yeah, maybe that works for the same reason that spam works. If you send enough spam, maybe you get some people to buy. Yes, I understand if you send enough spam and if you keep always be closing, always be spamming as hard as you can. Yes, that probably does work, but it irritates a lot of people, okay? If you want to shift to our model where you're treated very well, people never come in. And like this guy, Anthony Hip, he came in and signed up for our program. He's paying $30 a month. And he came to us because of the webinars that we've done with all these other people in his industry. There's no need to sell. It just feels so good. They come to you with trust. There's no need, I can do it for cheaper on Fiverr. Like people never do that. Of course, we are more expensive. Of course, if you want to work with the best, of course, you're going to pay more. And yes, we have people in the Philippines and Pakistan and all sorts of other places that are doing it. We're not hiding it. We're very clear that yes, you're paying us money and we're using this money to create jobs because we have 1 million VAs across the different countries. And one or two of those is going to work on your account, the one that we select for you, because we're going to select the one that will fix the thing that you need. We're not going to just have any random VA work on your thing. Go to, online jobs or Upwork if you want that. They want it done. So if you want that model, then you have to be good at what you do. I know this is crazy because there's all these people in online marketing. I'm not going to name, like a Joshua Crouch, for example. This guy's a sales guy, selling all the time. I made a post on how SEO is actually not very hard. And he came in and said, no, you don't know anything about SEO. I don't. I was a search engine engineer. And I ran, Google my name. Knowledge Panel shows up. Google your name, Josh Crouch of Relentless Digital. Can't even find you. I think the Joshua Crouch that shows up is some other Joshua Crouch. You don't even rank on your own name. And here you are trying to publicly tell me, you want to tell me in front of everybody on the planet that I don't know anything about SEO. You know what? I'm always learning. I'm happy to listen to you. Go ahead and teach me. I'm listening. Go ahead. Right? And then one of his clients comes in, Matt, I know his last name, of Travis and Sons Plumbing in Gilbert, Arizona, and said, I paid you, Joshua Crouch, $25 for the last 9 months, and you didn't do anything for me. You claimed to do all this SEO, and I ran the Are You Googleable report, and I found that I rank on nothing. I didn't generate a single phone call, and my plumbers are standing around. I'm paying these plumbers that in their 3 or 4 guys with trucks, and they're standing around not doing any work because the phone is not ringing. And I paid you $25, Joshua Crouch of Relentless Digital, because you claim to be an SEO expert. I want my money back. And so we did the audit. Of course, I didn't know who Joshua Crouch was. I said, who's this random guy trying to comment on my Facebook saying, I don't know what the F I'm talking about. Okay, I don't know why you would come attack me. I feel like everything I teach is based on clear standards. How do you argue with looking at the data in Search Console and Google Analytics, looking at how many phone calls are coming in on CallRail? How do you argue that? It's very clear. This guy, Matt, doesn't rank on anything. And you charged him $25,000. And after the first couple months, it's like, oh, well, Google's algorithm changes all the time. And so, give us more time, and paid the guy all this money. He's a sales guy, right? He's a very good sales guy. But we don't need sales guys. We need people who actually are expert, can actually implement. You know, when you go to the car dealership, there's a sales guy who's very shiny. He wears the suit. And then in the back, there's the mechanics, the people who actually know how to work on the car, right? We employ mechanics only. So it's difficult because, Nick, to your question, most of the people in digital marketing are salespeople. So they just are about selling and convincing and getting on this. Oh, I have 8 phone calls today. My calendar is full of phone calls just to close people. Why don't you shift your effort into delivering results? We don't spend any time trying to sell. They already come to us. They're already ready to buy. Right? What we need is expertise to diagnose and to fix. And the clients continue to pay. You know how long the average client stays with a digital marketing agency?
Maybe 3 months.
3 to 6 months.
Agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it only 3 to 6 months? It's because they eventually there's no result and then they leave. And you ask any local service business, they'll say, yeah, I got burned by the last 3 agencies, right? Every marketing company does this to me because they all do the funnel and high level and all these things. Hey, could you use an additional 10 new clients per month? If so, then I guarantee you for free that no. Anytime, would you like your heart to be able to function better? If you would like your heart to, no doctor would ever talk this way, right? So yesterday I was with my friends at Allegiant. They're pilots at Allegiant. Allegiant's, I think, the most profitable airline in the world right now. These pilots, actually Alex Brandt is one of my good friends. We've been friends for 10 years. And now he's in charge of the marketing and whatever for all the pilots at Allegiant. And we went to the Allegiant headquarters to take pictures, to do some videos, all of this. And it's just cool hanging out with pilots, right? Because you know a pilot. What do you think of, Nick, when you think of a pilot?
Highly respectable person, an individual who carries himself, and a diligent, very reliable guy. I'm talking about character traits.
So when you fly on the airplane, what would happen, Nick, if you got onto the airplane and it says, hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Danish, your pilot speaking. Today, we're going from Mumbai to Delhi. The flight is going to be 4 hours and 32 minutes at an altitude of 37 feet. And that's what you expect to hear, right? He talks like this, very calm, knows what he's doing, right? But then he says, but I've got the latest technique on flying the airplane that's never been flown before. We're going to fly the airplane in a completely brand new way that's going to be breathtaking and earth-shattering. And what would you think of, like, wait, who is this person talking?
This. Yeah.
I'm getting off this airplane. You know what? I've never flown an airplane before, but I've been watching YouTube videos and I'm pretty sure, I'm very confident, in fact, that I'm going to fly this airplane and we're not going to crash because I do my meditation and cold plunge every morning and I have my affirmations about how I'm a very good pilot. I'm a really good pilot. And if I just do enough affirmations, I'm a good pilot, I'm not going to crash the plane. So put on your seatbelts, okay? And we're going to go take off. And I don't even know this airport, but I'm very confident. So yes.
That's the best analogy you could provide.
You need to fly in my airline. I'm so good. This is the best airline. Can you imagine if you get on the plane, you put your seatbelt on and then the pilot makes the announcement and says that?
That's so sketchy. I would just run
someone who's calm, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who's done it for 15 years. So when I had lunch with these pilots yesterday, a whole bunch of them, they're all wearing their white shirt and dark tie and the little decorations to show, you can see, like, obviously they're dressed like the pilots, all of them. They look like penguins, I think. And, we're having lunch and we're having a discussion about what happens to be a pilot, right? And how far they've flown. And, they're talking about the issues like, oh, Allegiant, the company, doesn't pay them enough and all the things that happen. Like, you probably don't know about the things that pilots talk about, but I thought it was really, fascinating. And they talk about, the maintenance people didn't do a good job here. And did you hear about that one pilot where the engine went out and he had to go all the way back around and try to land? And they're talking all these really, it's like, wow, that's fascinating. Because these are pilots, right? But the key thing, like if you were there at lunch with me, is these guys are so good at what they do. Like this one pilot talked about how one engine went out and they were running low on fuel and he didn't lose panic. And he was talking to air traffic control, clear the runway so that we can make the emergency landing and all the things that had to happen to try to, adjust the rudder. Because one engine went out, the plane tilted. So then they had to readjust the other way and trying to climb, but there's not enough power because you have only one engine. So they're going at like 400 feet above the air. He's talking about what he's doing in this very scary situation, but he was not freaking out because he was well trained. He knew what he was doing. And the air tower saying, turn around, there's other planes. He says, I'm not turning around. If I try to turn now, I have so little airspeed that if I try to turn, I will stall and crash. So you clear the planes off the runway. I'm going to land, right? And I'm thinking, wow, this guy in this emergency situation with passengers on this plane knew what to do. Could you imagine, Nick, you're flying the airplane, all of a sudden one engine goes out and the plane tilts and starts to go down. Would you scream?
I would freak out.
But if you knew, and so that's what happens. These plumbers and HVAC companies and electricians, they come to us. They're in pain. Just like someone that get in a car accident. They're dying. They're in pain. They're bleeding. They come to the emergency room. Do I freak out? Do I try to like convince them that they need something and yell at them? They're in pain. They're dying. I'm very calm about it. I take a look. Here's what's going on. Okay, nurse, let's go into operating room number 2. Put them under anesthesia. We're going to do this, this, and this, scan for everything. Here's exactly what's wrong. It looks like we have one heart valve that's bleeding. It's ruptured. We need to repair. And, bring in this surgeon, bring in all this things. I don't know what a surgeon does, but let's pretend that we knew exactly what a surgeon does, right? And then I begin to operate, and I'm doing it calmly, carefully. I'm quick, but I don't hurry, just like you'd expect a surgeon would do. And I publish all of them. And you can see me do operations, surgery hundreds of times. I don't freak out. I don't get all excited about, oh yeah, the latest AI tool. That's the last thing you want to hear when you're on the airplane and you're crashing. I've got the latest tool. Dude, I want to not die. I just want you to fix it, okay? So that's the key difference. So the question, to be practical, for all the other agencies, digital marketers out there that want more clients, publish what you do. Interview your clients. There are no experts. Oh, but that's a secret. If I teach everyone what I do, then they're not going to hire me. Well, then you're not very good, because for the last 30 years, I publish exactly what I know how to do. And people want to come to us because we publish what we do. Oh, but I don't know how to do PPC. There's this one girl that came to me. She said, I'm not going to learn how to do Google ads or Facebook ads because that's what I hire VAs to do. I white label, outsource that to someone else. Really? Yeah, because I'm a sales guy. Because I'm supposed to do 10 phone calls a day. And all I do is I need to close it, and then I outsource it to these other people. Really? Well, how likely do you think those people you white label your PPC to are doing a good job? Well, they're used by so-and-so, and they seem very successful because they have the Russell Brunson 2 Comma Club big award. And I see them hanging out with Tony Robbins and there's these other people. Really? That means they must be really good at PPC, right? Why don't you go into the Google Ads accounts and see how the PPC is doing? Do you know how to log in and check? You know how to audit? We know how to audit. Guess what? These clients are buying the Are You Googleable report for $200 and finding out there are problems. Oh, looks like no one's logged into the Google ad account for 5 months. Yeah, but I know they're doing a good job. I know the white label agency is doing a good job because I paid them this money. Yeah, but when the client logged into the account, no one's touched anything for 5 months. And the client's saying, I printed out this report and it says these things are wrong. What do you have to say, Joshua Crouch of Relentless Digital? What do you have to say for yourself? You're a weight loss coach and your clients step on the scale and it says they're fat. Are you going to blame the scale? Are you going to blame the scale manufacturer? I'm the scale manufacturer. Clearly, if you're 300 pounds and 5'5", then it's my fault. The guy who makes the scale, it's my fault. I'm the scammer, right? Couldn't possibly be you as the coach. You're fat yourself and you're trying to help other fat people lose weight. It couldn't possibly be your fault. Get good at what you do. That's what I'm saying. Publish what you do. Because when you have one great client, they talk to each other and you get 10 more clients. If you think you're good at what you're doing, shouldn't your clients be talking about you? You shouldn't have to do any marketing at all. I do no marketing at all because clients come to us for each of the agencies that we have or work with. Clients come to us. And if if your ego's too big, like you're Joshua Crouch, your ego's so big that you're not willing to fix problems and you'd rather attack me and pay a lawyer to try to attack me, how dumb are you? Okay, if I was Joshua Crouch, I would have said, you know what? Clearly the results show that I charged you $25,000, didn't do anything. And it happens, I've had other happy clients, but this one fell through the cracks. Clearly we can see the results. You can't argue the SEO stats. I'm going to go ahead and repair everything. I apologize. I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm just going to repair it and going to make sure that you're able to rank on Gilbert, Arizona plumbing, emergency plumber, Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm going to get you ranking on all these different keywords, right? I'll do this. I promised you I'd do it. I didn't do it. I apologize. There's no reason for me to try to hide or argue with Dennis Yu, Roger Wakefield, who created the Are You Google report. No, I'm going to go ahead and fix it. I'm very sorry. We all do the best that we can. And sometimes we mess up. We all mess up. So I want to own up on that instead, but that's not what he did. So he should have done a refund or he should have fixed it. And when you fix it, so even if you goof up, look, we goof up too. We're training a bunch of people in Pakistan and India and the Philippines. Do you think they're perfect? Some of these people, they're brand new.
Not every time.
Of course they mess up. Of course there's typos. Of course the ad budget ran too long. Of course they had the wrong bit. Of course they said the wrong thing. And of course mistakes happen. In the hospital, do you think there's no mistakes that ever happen? All the time, right? So we own up on that. My buddy Danny Barrera, he runs Concrete Marketing Crew. And he's a very successful, I think $3 million a year agency that serves the concrete coating industry. And he's the first one to admit. He admitted to me when I interviewed him on my podcast, yes, we make mistakes all the time. We never try to hide. We own up on it and we try to fix it. We say, look, we do the best that we can. Thank you for being patient. We are completely transparent and you could be mean to us or criticize if you want, but we only take on clients who understand that we're in partnership together. And digital marketing it's kind of hard as an agency because there's a lot of moving pieces. And so we hope you appreciate that. And we're transparent with you about that. And you can log in anytime and see the results. And that's why, we appreciate the trust you have in us. So if you have it with that mindset, like Danny Barrera, like Marco Cipolla, like Will Troop, like all these other people that are good digital marketers, where they're transparent, where they say, yeah, you could spend the $200 and run the Are You Googler report. Tell the client, you could go ahead and do it, and it'll come back and show that everything is good. Everything's fine, right? Versus Joshua Crouch, he doesn't want anyone to run the report, because what will happen if we run the report?
You find out that the issues aren't fixed. You find out the actual progress.
So when the clients run the report, the areyougooglable.com report, and they see that all these things are broken, and they see exactly why they don't rank, and it's very clear, they should blame whoever, if you're fat, you should blame the scale, right? Oh, the scale, but the scale's not right. The scale's off. I don't trust the scale. Because gravity's different depending on where you are, on the moon. If on the moon, you would only weigh 30 pounds. Yeah, but we're not on the moon. We're on planet Earth right now. Yeah, but this Dennis Yu guy is a scammer. He's a fake. He's a fraud. Let me divert attention. Don't look at that. Don't look at the scale that says you weigh 30 pounds. Ignore that. Go look at how Dennis Yu is. Dennis Yu is bad. Yeah, but the scale says you weigh 30 pounds. No, the scale is bad. Forget the scale. Go look at this other guy. You look like an idiot. Why don't you go ahead and fix the problem? Joshua Crouch of Relentless Digital. Who are you?
Oh, Dennis.
I was with Roger Wakefield in Dallas, and he gets a text, and it's from Joshua Crouch. And it says, you better watch out. This Dennis Yu guy, he's a scammer. And Roger turns the phone to me and says, look at this. It's Joshua Crouch. Who the hell is Joshua Crouch? Why doesn't he just go ahead and fix whatever the problem is? So he ran our report. I'm sorry. The report says that you're fat. The scale says you're fat. Why don't you fix it?
I mean, this will be a very interesting conversation, and I could see most agencies can relate to the situations you're saying, and I'm assuming that they will learn a lot onto value-based selling, and
there's no selling.
Actually, there's no selling.
Value-based publishing, training, teaching, publish your checklist that you use. If you don't have any checklists, then take all your Zoom calls and run it through ChatGPT to create the checklist. Publish it. Don't run money on ads to all right, could you use an additional 8 leads per week? Contact us and we'll guarantee that. No, run $1 a day against the training material that you have. Don't sell. Don't have it to book a call. Don't send them to a landing page or whatever. Just share the training you have. And if you choose your niche, let's say it's plumbers, then target plumbers and show your relationships with other plumbers. If you're a chiropractor, then show the interviews you have with other chiropractors. Show that you're going to chiropractor conferences. Show the results that you've done for other chiropractors. Show the relationship you have with the top chiropractor. Oh, you don't have a relationship with the top chiropractor. Okay, fine. Start with a chiropractor that you know if you've chosen chiropractor. Oh, but you don't, you do this from everybody, for chiropractor, for real estate, for SaaS company. You do this for everyone on the internet, every kind, like a dog walking company, grandma who knits socks. You do this for everybody. You need to choose a niche. No, but I could do this for anybody. You need to choose a niche. But I could do everything. I can do PPC. I can do SEO. I can do TikTok ads. I can do Instagram. I can do LinkedIn. I can do WordPress. I can do, oh, you really? So you're the doctor in the hospital. You can do every kind of surgery. Because the brain surgeon can also do your nails, right? The person who's a specialist in the liver, they can also do surgery on your eye, right? Because the liver is very much like your eye, isn't it? It's the same thing, isn't it? Don't try to do everything.
Marketing.
All these guys that are so focused on funnels, they try to do everything for everyone. How likely is that going to work? Yeah, but I got the certification. I went to this weekend training and I have this badge that says I'm an expert now. Really? Plus, when you niche down and you do SEO just for pest control companies, we have one company that does just that. They just do SEO for pest control companies. They're pretty good, right? They're not the best at everything. I mean, there's always things to learn, but they focus just on SEO for pest control. Think, Nick, if you had an agency and all you did was focus on SEO for pest control, not lawn care, not cosmetic surgeons, not TikTok ads, just SEO for pest control companies, don't you think you would be pretty good even after 6 months if that's just all you did? Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm very sure that the referrals would actually flood in because I'm only specialized in that one space and my fulfillment would be
one thing.
Blindfoldedly, I could fulfill because I've done that 70 other times to different pest control businesses.
And you do it and you interview people and you publish your knowledge and all of this, you publish a book using our techniques. We have the #1 ebook site on the internet, as you know. You publish it there. And then all these other companies that are pest control companies, they see that you specialize in pest control and they need help with SEO. I'm going to talk to these guys, right? And you know enough about pest control companies, about the difference between aphids that are destroying your roses versus mice that come in and eat all the garbage, or the infestation of pigeons. Or because you know a lot about pest control, you know that there's a difference between a possum and what is the other one? not a beaver. Shoot, what's the other one? Anyway, there's these different creatures, and one of them's covered by insurance, and the other one's not, because the insurance will cover when there's an opposable thumb in the possum, and when it's a mouse, then it's not, and so that you can get more money when it's a possum infestation versus a pigeon, versus there's mold or mildew damage because there's leaking because the mice ate away at your foundation, whatever. Like you know everything about how a pest control company operates, right? So when you
Fair enough.
specialize in one thing for one kind of customer and you publish what you know how to do and you have the relationships with the other people in that industry talking about just that one thing. Like we have one agency that focuses just on plumbers. We have another agency that focuses just on concrete. We have different agencies for each of these areas.
So how do you structure? Doesn't that complicate the infrastructure of fulfillment, handling teams? Because
No, it makes it easier.
Help me understand
Because
the
each of
structure,
these
Dennis. This is
agencies
interesting.
focuses on one thing for one type of customer. Now, what I do is I build the infrastructure and the reports and the engineering and the technology components. So I'm an engineer. If you're not an engineer, then you probably don't want to try to build software like what I'm doing. You should focus on fulfillment.
bet.
You should focus on delivering results. I'm focusing on the software side to enable the coordination, all the things necessary to generate the report, all the things necessary to assign everything. Think about if you're an Uber driver versus you were building the actual Uber software. Can you imagine building the Uber software is very difficult? Think about all the things that have to happen to bring the drivers and riders together. I'm the one who's building that part. Yes, it's complicated. Do you need to learn how to build that? Only if you want to compete against me.
You better not do that.
Good luck. I've been in software engineering for 30 years. Good luck.
Fair enough. So you're like in this pyramid structure where you are actually creating the technology to generate reports, and you have multiple agencies which are specializing in single niche, and you're obviously publishing everything you're doing so that you get the inbound, and then you obviously have great talent fulfilling the services along with your
and elevating the agencies, right? Because there's multiple plumbing and HVAC agencies in our network, not just one. Because Richard Cruz, who runs Plumbing Marketing USA, and Joshua Nelson, who runs Plumbing HVAC SEO, and Will Troop, who runs Local Sync, are all agencies that serve plumbing companies. And they are all certified in what we do. And there's so many plumbers that need help. We could get another 50 agencies that just do plumbing HVAC, and there's plenty of work for all of them. So it's not like, I don't want to join the group because Dennis already has all the plumbers. There's so many. What kind of limiting scarcity mindset do you have? There's plenty. There's tens of thousands of these companies that need help because they got their current agency they hate. They ran the Are You Google report and they find that's broken. They're firing that agency and they want an agency who actually follows our standards. If you are an agency and you want to learn to do it right and get certified, then you should run the Are You Google report on your clients. Otherwise, they're going to run the report and now they're coming to you. I don't want to be in that situation where they come to me and they tell me, you know what, I ran the report and it says these things are broken. What are you going to do? You're going to dance and be like Joshua Crouch of Relentless Digital? You never want to be Joshua Crouch of Relentless Digital. Now he's destroyed his reputation. How dumb is that, right?
Oh, yeah. This happens almost every other day on the internet.
Every day it happens, many times per day. All these agencies keep destroying their reputations. They don't know any better. They think it's all about a sales bro game. They got into the game because they're a sales bro. And then when they're in trouble and they don't deliver results, they have only one tool in their toolbox, the hammer. So then there's sales bro. Well, maybe I can sales bro my way out of this one. No, you actually have to be an expert implementer to get you to solve this problem. The thing that got you into this problem by being a sales bro is not the thing that's going to solve your problem, sales bro.
I think this is definitely a transformational podcast. Now, help us understand when you are actually ranking very well. Obviously, we don't even need to type your entire name. Google recommends your name while you're typing it. If a small business owner who is an agency and he wants to rank for his niche, what are few actionable steps he could actually do to actually get his SEO or name, like rank for his name specifically? Unlike
you don't even have to do SEO. I'll tell you the answer on how to rank for your name, just to answer your question. But first, you don't need to know how to do that because when your clients talk about you, you don't need to rank on best digital marketing agency for plumbers. Or if you do pest control SEO, you don't need to rank for pest control SEO. You just need to have the relationships, right? But if you do want to rank on it, then here's what you do. You interview ideally 8 to 10 of your clients. If you don't have 8 to 10 clients in that niche, fine. Just start with what you have. Start by interviewing other people that are authoritative in the area. Like you want to interview people on SEO, maybe you interview me. I know a couple things about SEO, right? And so you take each of those Zoom interviews and run them through ChatGPT, because when people talk and you use the transcription, it's never quite right. It has to be edited properly. Run it through ChatGPT. Each of those interviews is a chapter. Publish that book, and then have ChatGPT figure out what the title should be. The ultimate guide to for plumbers on how to do whatever it is. ChatGPT will do your copywriting. ChatGPT will build your landing page. ChatGPT will create the ads, and you run the ads ads against the book. You publish a book in multiple places. All the people that you interviewed should link to your site because they're an author in the book. That's a great way of building backlinks, isn't it? Which is the key part of SEO. You put it on Amazon and you put the Kindle and physical version. Pay a few dollars to have it listed so it has an ISBN number, and you run $1 a day against it to your niche. So if your niche is veterinarians and you are Brandon Brashears and you run a agency serving just veterinarians, then you target veterinarians. You target veterinarians on LinkedIn. You target other veterinarian conferences on Twitter. $1 a day. You target the veterinarian category on Amazon. So now you're spending $5 a day, $6 a day, because each of these networks you spend a couple dollars a day. Now you have the #1 best-selling book for veterinarians on how to do local search, how to rank, and #1 in Google for your GMB and local map results, all of this. And now you have a great lead gen machine because people who look at your training and your checklist, and you could use our checklist too, but hopefully you actually implement them. You don't just steal them, even though we publish it. Yes, you can take it and put your name on it, but you better dang well implement it and actually do it because people are going to hold you accountable to the checklist we have. And now all these veterinarians who need help with their SEO and they see you've published this whole book, they're going to come to you and say, I'd like to see whether you can implement SEO for my veterinarian thing. I do cats and dogs in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Let's have a call and let's look at your data. That's how you do it. See? How many people do you know have published a book for their particular category, for the thing that they do? Step checklist.
Oh yeah, very few. I mean, almost.
Because they're too busy being sales bros calling, aren't they?
Setting and closing.
Yeah, I'm a hardcore closer. I have all these tattoos. I do a cold plunge and wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. Really? Good for you. I wake up whenever I wake up. Sometimes I wake up at 11 a.m. I woke up at noon today.
Dennis, how do you manage your time schedule when you're in like 17 different time zones every other week? I'm just curious.
You just do what you need to do. I try to sleep on the plane, but if there's good Wi-Fi, I'm going to work the whole time. But the beauty is I don't have lots of calls. Guess how many sales calls I have per day?
None, I guess.
None. So my calendar is relatively open. I get to hang out with people that I want to hang out with. So I was in Pakistan and I'm hanging out with Munawar Abdullah. And he's one of my favorite friends out there. And then I see Rihan Alawala. I don't want to name drop, but I hang out with all these cool people and we get to hang out and spend all day together. I'm flying to Dallas to see Roger Wakefield in a few days and we're going to hang out. We're going to be making videos. We're going to be having a few calls to coordinate with our team to tune up this Are You Googleable report, which needs to be better. But it's okay, but we're trying to make it better. And we're training up other people and we're going out to nice steak dinners and we're doing all this because we're not spending time on sales calls because we're not sales bros. Roger Wakefield's a plumber. He says I'm just a plumber. Yeah, but also all the plumbers follow him. So that's very important. Right?
He's a famous plumber.
And I tell him, well, I'm just a search engine engineer. And he says, oh, Dennis, you're not just a search engine engineer. Yeah, I know, but you're not just a plumber either, are you?
Good jokes. Okay, fair enough. Now, if somebody wants to know a way for them to actually be authoritative or represent themselves on stages and share their knowledge,
yeah,
what is most actionable for them to actually start doing? I know, obviously, publishing.
I do what you're doing, Nick.
Interviews.
How many people have you interviewed, Nick?
Plus.
Yeah. So start interviewing other people. And then
that's the way
like you did, Nick, you made a 2-minute video talking about the first podcast episode that we did and encouraging people to tune in. And you were promoting me, right? Well, let's say you're an agency and you want to grow your business. Why would you want to talk about someone else? That seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Not to me, at least. I don't know why not.
It is to all the sales bros that have the scarcity mindset and they're kind of hustling. Here's what I do.
Now I see the
point. I interview Roger Wakefield and I say, guys, I just spent the whole day with Roger Wakefield and we talked about this, and this. And Roger Wakefield's amazing. He's a master plumber. He just sold his plumbing company for like $20 million because he knows, he's fixed so many broken toilets and pipes and slab leaks. And here's 3 things that you're going to learn from our episode on how to fix your digital plumbing with Roger Wakefield. And I'm going on and on about how much I love Roger Wakefield. I'm not ever talking about myself. Why would I do that? Well, if I'm a sales bro. Shouldn't I be talking about how awesome I am all the time? Taking pictures of a Lamborghini, all of this? No. Do you see my nice watch? It's called a Whoop. It's a Whoop. This one tells me my, heart and sleep and all these metrics, right?
Oh, you don't have a Rolex?
No. I had a nice watch before and I lost it and I got so mad because it was an expensive watch. I don't remember where. I think I left it on the beach somewhere and that's why I don't wear fancy things because sometimes I lose them because I leave it in the hotel. I've lost so many charging cables and like electric toothbrushes in hotels because I'm like, oh, we got to go to the airport. And I forget to get my toothbrush from the bathroom. This shirt I got at Walmart for $8.
I mean, yeah.
I guarantee you my clothes and my wardrobe cost less than yours. But for all you bros out there, I probably make more money than you.
What a flex, bro. I love that. Now, curious, Dennis, when you're waking up, you're running and you're so passionate, what keeps you excited about all this travel? Why are you so passionate about coming and sharing here? I understand the vision.
I love my
but
friends.
personally,
I love to see them win. You know, I'm turning 50 this year, Nick, and I love to see my friends win. And that's what gets me up out of bed in the morning. I'm never tired. I pop out of bed. I'm excited because I never want to let my team down. And a lot of people increasingly are putting their trust in me, and I feel the weight of that. And my buddy Brendan King runs Vendasta. They're a $200 million software company serving local. We use his products. I love hanging out with him. And I think he's got 800 employees. And I asked him, how did you do this? And how are you able to keep going? You work so hard. He says, because I care for the team. I don't want to let anyone down. I never want to be that guilty person where someone comes up to me at church or at the restaurant and says, you know what? You let me down. Never want to be in that spot.
oh, yeah, that's a huge motivation right there. I think that pressure really keeps us active and allows us to become the best version ourselves.
Yeah.
Dennis, that was transformational, brother. Appreciate your time. I know we are actually on the schedule. Unless you actually have some more time, I would love to connect.
I wish we had more time, but we can do episode 3. We can chop up what we have here, put it out there. People are going to react to it. And I want to see, let's make something reacting to, seeing what people have to say, right? Let's put it out there. Let's put $1 a day against it. I'll give you money to put $1 a day against this because we want to train everyone out there, especially the sales bros, the money Twitter people, all of them. I know you have a lot of those followers.
Oh yeah, you bet. Most
money.
I'm
going to make 7 figures by next week. Good for you. How about deliver for your clients, huh? Why don't you talk about your clients? Why don't you take care of your clients first before you talk about your dream board on all the cars and mansions and things you want to have? Make them successful first, then you can buy those things. Okay.
Fair enough, Dennis. Appreciate your time. I mean, you're the guy who speaks the truth in the marketing space. Mad respect for what you're doing, and this podcast has been inspiring. And I hope this at least changes 10 or 100, a few thousand people who are actually tuning in, and they change their perspective from just being a sales bro to actually delivering value. And I love hanging out around you, and I would love to catch up physically when we can. I'll catch you on the episode 3. I'm excited.
That's right. Or in Dubai or wherever in Mumbai, we'll catch up in person and have a meal.
For sure. We'll have that fun time, brother. Have a good one. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Awesome, Nick.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.